We wanted to be efficient, so we got the ground workers to go in the week ahead, fit an EV block, and then the following week the electricians would come in, pull the cables through the ducting. They knew what they were going to turn up to every time.
Yes.
Nice level base, adapter plate to drill into. Easy.
Hello and welcome to a rather noisy TechTalking podcast.
They're noisy because they're taking down the set
Yes.
here at the Kent Event Centre after another fabulous Tech Talk.
Well, we think it's fabulous in here, but we've got Trevor along from EV Blocks. Was it just as good for you out there, mate?
Yes, very good. These events are really well attended, and the feedback from the presentations is really good from the guys.
Oh, thank you very much. We don't mind that, do we, Dave?
I wonder who does them.
Now, we're here to talk about you guys over at EV Blocks. They come and travel around with us, so we see them a lot, Dave, don't we? But it's now the time when we need to get to understand what you can do for our customers. So this is your time to shine, mate. So first of all, start with name, rank and number for the file. Who are you, what do you do, and who do you do it for?
Yeah, so Trevor Palmer, product developer for EV Blocks and director. We make a universal EV charger base for pedestal mounted EV chargers.
Right,
so
these are the things you've been lugging around, didn't they? So
Yes.
bless him. He lugs these around to all the venues we go to.
It's interesting. So you make the bases
yes,
that they go into.
Yeah,
So it's
precast.
a partner company or a separate company? How does those two work together?
So we've got a universal precast concrete foundation with an adapter plate on top.
Right.
Okay.
So any AC charger on the market will fit our B500 and B600 blocks.
Really? So here at Tech Talks, we've got 1, 2, 3. There's four manufacturers of EVs out there. But so the EV charger then has to fit to a pole or something like that, and it's the pole that fits your block. Is that right?
Correct.
Ah, right. I'm starting to get there now.
You don't make the pole.
No, so all the poles have different fixing dimensions.
Okay.
So that's where the universal
that.
plate comes into play.
Yeah.
Is you just offer the pedestal up, drill it on site, bolt it to the adapter plate, and the adapter plate sits nicely in the block.
So this is something that's groundwork, isn't it? So this is groundwork.
Briefly, Trevor, just take us back to how all this came about. I mean, did you think there's a hole in the market, or what, were you working with the other manufacturers to say, I'm going to fulfil this need? How did it come about?
I was really fortunate. So I built up an electrical contracting business from just me in a van
Oh, right.
over the course of 8 years. So I went from doing Doris's kitchen lights to working with some of the biggest brands like Nike and shopping centres and Marks and Spencer's, big companies like that. And we got the opportunity to do some of the work on the Audi showrooms across the UK.
Nice work. Yeah.
And we were doing around 3 car showrooms a week.
Wow.
In terms of turnaround, so that was like 2 outdoor chargers on pedestals, workshop charger.
That's where you saw the need.
And I was paying guys to look at concrete drying. I'm like, this is against the law. I can't do this. So we moved to precast and.
That's right. So I was just thinking about that. Yeah, because if you're sending guys out and literally they've got to dig the hole, they've got to put the concrete in, put the post in. At that point, you are losing money, as you just said. You're waiting for them.
Waiting for it to dry. And we had guys. We were because we were working nationally on this contract.
Yeah, you're losing. Yeah.
We wanted to be efficient, so we got the ground workers to go in the week ahead, fit an EV block, and then the following week the electricians would come in, pull the cables through the ducting. They knew what they were going to turn up to every time.
Yes.
Nice level base, adapter plate to drill into. Easy.
So all the groundworks are done to fit your blocks. You can spec that up on the drawings.
Correct.
So it's all really easy.
And what I've seen with your precast concrete blocks, I've seen the fact that there's quite a lot of room to get everything that you need to get in, isn't there? But for more than one location, you've got blocks that will accept from all directions, haven't you?
That's right, yeah. So from all 4 directions, the universal EV blocks will take up to 150mm ducts from each direction.
Wow.
You've got the access in the middle to grab hold of the cables, pull them through.
Yeah.
And if you want to, you put an earth rod in there if you're TTing or.
Yeah, but they're going to be. Well, that's what we're going around.
Or you put that into
Put an earth rod in the centre because of all that space to work in.
Oh, I've got you.
And then you've got the accessibility for maintenance or testing at a later date without the expense of doing a base and then a separate earth pit.
So the concrete block really is like a bucket upside down.
Kind of. With a plate
Sorry to
on
make
top,
it so simple, Trevor. It's the simple mind, you see.
It's not a solid block, is what you're saying.
Correct,
It's a hollow
yeah,
block. So you can get a good electrode in there.
Correct. Yeah.
So the ground workers could be doing all this. So how many different versions of this block that you've got? Is it just a case of ringing up, you get one block for whatever?
No, so we started off with the B600, and the guys that I was working with, like customers, they were saying, we really like the product, Trev, but it's a bit heavy. Oh. Okay, cool. So we developed the B500. They both share the same adapter plate.
Okay.
But the 500 is half the weight.
How have you done that? Or can't you tell us, Trevor?
It's basically just taking some of the material out.
Right.
So instead of 600mm, it's now 500mm. The walls are slightly thinner, but they're still really strong. So 90 kilos for the 500, 180 for the 600.
So in terms of
That's a lump,
handling,
isn't it?
it's 2 people, or do you use a special bit of kit to drop them in?
We know of some contractors that will drop in the 500 between 2 people, sharing 45 kilos each. Other contractors are more comfortable lowering it in with a mini excavator. And same with the 600. We always recommend that's dropped in with a mini excavator.
Yeah, if you're trenching, and then you're gonna have something on site for
You're
that
going to have
trench.
some
aren't you?
kit on site. If you're
You're
doing this at a serious level.
Yeah, serious level. You're going to start to do this properly. You're going to have some of that kit around. Yeah, you guys ain't going to be lifting that, are they?
So all your work is commercial. You don't do domestics, do you?
So we've done a collaboration with EV Tower. So we developed an EV block specially for EV Tower because they've got the same principles as us. So they've got a universal pedestal.
Yes, I saw that.
That will take up 40 plus chargers that are on the market.
Wow.
So we've done a base with them. We do a lot of work with them. So we've got the EV Block Mini.
Is that why you're next to each other in the stand?
Yeah,
it works really well, doesn't it?
We do a lot together, and it doesn't hurt to see a friendly face at these sort of events.
So those names, EV Block, EV Tower, that's just coincidence? That's just what you came up with?
Two separate companies.
Really?
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
I thought
they were partner companies. I did.
So you mentioned them first two, the 500, the 600.
Yep.
Anything else that you guys have got that will help our contractors?
So we're currently working on a DC solution, so a bigger footprint to take multiple DC chargers because they all come in lots of different sizes.
They do. Yeah, we've been looking at some DC, haven't we? We've been working with our friends over at Proteus and looking at what they do. Nearly all the stuff that they do. It's enormous, isn't it? Some of the cabinets that they're putting in to feed out.
And that's
to
the next piece of the puzzle is we're looking at a solution for feeder pillars as well.
That's what I was going to say. That's where we're seeing a lot of our work go.
What's your manufacturing? Is it UK based?
UK based, yeah. We have a huge facility where our products are manufactured. This year I'm looking for a facility in Ireland to start producing the product. Next month, February 2023, we're going out to look at 2 locations in Europe, so one in Belgium and one in Holland.
Wow,
we already serve the Dutch market with EV blocks.
From here though?
From here, so we're going to save on the shipping costs. Yeah. And then we've just done a licensing deal, so we licensed EV blocks to a company in America. And we are just about to go live with that in March 2023. We've currently got around 14 or 15 confirmed production locations across America.
So it's going all right, Trevor?
It just signals that it's going quite well. Yeah, you're not struggling, are you?
We're getting there. We're definitely getting there.
But in terms of the company structure, is it still quite a relatively small company?
Absolutely, yeah. So there's myself, a lady called Sharon who works for us, and then we're looking for a third person to come and join us this summer.
Do you help these contractors that are listening to this? Do you help with any design or anything like that? Because they're going to get drawings, they don't know which one to go by, which one's going to be the best solution. If they came to you with them types of questions, is that something that you've got the capacity to help with?
Absolutely. So if they know that they're going to be fitting a particular AC charger, they might say to us, what would you recommend? And we can give them recommendations from there. Because they're, it's a very simple product, very simple concept. They're universal. Yeah. So we just say, that's the footprint fits our adapter plate.
Not a lot of risk, is there really? Yeah, and if you're working with that parenting with that other company on the posts as well.
It's such a basic concept. Have you managed to patent it? I mean, have you got control of it?
We're currently patent pending. That was filed back in 2019, and it's just starting to roll through with the European Patent Office.
Blimey, 2019 to now.
To now, yeah. And it's now just starting to get to kind of the interesting bit, if you like.
We've had a pandemic since then.
Yeah, it's wild. Yeah. So, and that's patent pending for UK, Europe, and America.
Well, he won't
Canada.
be talking to us soon.
No, he won't be. No,
Just
he'll be
dropping
sending
by
someone else, wouldn't he?
right.
He'll be sending someone else to talk to
I haven't got time for it.
I like these though. It's good fun.
We're trying to get them, and you guys are adding to this. And I always say that Tech Talks, the CF Tech Talks, are a combination. It's all very well and good like getting one element right, but it's about getting all the elements right. So we've got the venues, we've got you guys that can really add to it, and it's about providing those technical solutions. Me and Dave can talk in here about all we want about how to comply with standards, what standards mean. It's then when they come out there in the hall, and hopefully you're seeing this, they're then saying, oh, we've heard this, can you tell us and help us with this type of solution, or I've got this problem. That's what we're trying to get here at Tech Talks.
Yeah, and it is good. And going back to the blocks as well, we're looking at a slightly improved adapter plate so that they can be put in as passive. So all the ducting and the foundations can be put in, so you've got a mass foundation in the ground ready to go.
Oh,
and then when it's ready, pull in the cables, fit your charger.
So this is
Part
Part
S, so the building regulations. So the building regulations, for those listening that don't understand, there's been a change. Last year there was a change, and Part S required there to be a charger installed in majority of new installations or new buildings that are going up in the UK. That had a caveat on it though, about a maximum of 3,600 per charge point. We're talking big installations here where you have to talk to the DNO to get them to increase their supply. But it didn't stop the cables and ducting being put in, which is where your EV block would come in, because I'd still put the cost into what I could afford into that framework, and then when the time came, pop the lid off. You've passive lid, did you call it?
That's right, yeah.
Take a passive lid off,
Yeah,
put a pedestal on,
yeah,
put a charger on, and I'm ready to rock and roll again.
yeah.
I think that's great.
It's clever.
All your infrastructure can be put in at construction stage then.
So you could literally, knowing on new builds this going through, I could say to the guys that before they've even done the car park, I could say, don't forget, you need to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these down here. I'm only using the first 3 of them, but you've installed 5 now.
Yeah.
It's great, isn't it? It's one of them things, isn't it? It's the easy, simple things that take off. Yeah. And that's what we're getting here.
Well, it's such a simple idea that it's hard to believe somebody else did it, but you did it first.
Yeah, I've been dead fortunate, and it was just a problem that we were having on site. I was like, we've got to find a better way for this, and that's what we've come up with.
So whereabouts is your office? You said you were based in the UK. Whereabouts are you?
Based in Peterborough.
Oh, Peterborough. We could pop and see you. It's not too far from yourself. We could do that, couldn't we?
Yeah.
Pop and see. And that's the office and the production, is it?
Production is in the Midlands.
Oh, up in the Midlands
Yeah,
there.
so-
Yeah, so what we'll do is I think we'll probably try and get around to see him and do some video. This definitely demands a video, doesn't it? Start to see some of this.
And where is the future, Trevor? As we wrap up, where do you see it? You're talking about America. You're talking about Europe, manufacturing. What's the limit for you? Where are you going, or is it limitless?
It's kind of limitless. So we're looking at, on top of those 2 locations, we're going to look at next month, and looking at another 2 for 2024.
Right.
That hopefully we'll be able to get into Germany and France then.
Yeah,
So,
wow.
It's just it's a great opportunity.
I think the EV is going to be big for everyone, and we should all be making the most of it, which obviously you guys are going to help us do. So if you want to know more about the EV block, you can come along to a Tech Talk. That's a really simple way of doing it, because you guys are here exhibiting before, during the break and after, aren't you? So that people could come and see you here. I'm assuming you've got a website. For those of you watching on YouTube, it's on the shirt.
Yeah.
So they can go to evblocks.com and find out bits and bobs there, can't they? Or you can just ask your CEF guys, because they've got relationships with you guys, haven't they?
Absolutely, yeah.
So get into CEF, have a chat about EV blocks. If you've got any real big groundwork projects that are coming up that are involving the EV sector, have a look, check these guys out, because I guarantee they've got something that's going to make it a little bit easier, especially if you take what you're doing in conjunction with the other guys as well. So please make sure you do click the like button and share with other colleagues so that they can get to enjoy what we're doing as well.
Share that
Why
love.
not? Share the love. So until next time, thank you very much for listening to another CF Tech Talking podcast.